So I'm sure if he thought that he'd expect Mark to latch onto one of these red machines.
You can see pacing around at a fair old rate of knots there, isn't he? In the front of that factory Ducati Garagnaia. His first match point in the MotoGP World Championship here tomorrow in London's company. Marc Marquez and Pol Espargaro both on the floor in the same corner, which calls out Quartararo's third of the weekend so far.
Is coming, which is why we're seeing all of the guys in Q1 so desperate to get out there
in an instant, and when it comes, it can be biblical. Davide Tardot.
And I'd be nervous if it was my rider, and like, it's so easy not to stop.
Threatening around, I'm sure they would have worked out a master plan with Pecco Bagnaia going in to the front row of the grid in Phillip Island. It's not normally a situation, a scenario that Bolt and the gang behind Bagnaia know that he can't back out of it. He has to go.
Stay with him. I think Mark's really got to stretch. You know, you can see him catching up on the brakes. He's going to have the pace over him.
Gigi Dall'Igna looks on, the man who was to glory in the MotoGP World Championship. It's taken probably longer than what Ducati and Dall'Igna have done, is getting Bagnaia into that second qualifying session for him to fight for Marquez on this current lap. This will be the first time in tomorrow's Petronas Grand Prix Malaysia through turn 8, which is where he crashed in Epic. Miller was in a little bit hot there as he closed in on Pol Espargaro. Not normally a guy that wants to rely on a reference or a toe. He's always balked.
Fighting Pecco, you know, this weekend will be worried. Mark losing the rat, and it's worrying. Pecco, I'm not saying he can't fall off because he's riding on the limit.
A massive chunk of time between himself, Pol Espargaro and Marc Marquez. Overline lap is not far off the mark, is it? A 1:58.895. It's now from Miller.
And you can see Tardozzi's nervous because his heart rate was 80.
What will it be like at 3 p.m. local time tomorrow? What will it be like maybe shit? They look on anxiously at the big screens inside that factory, the Ducati garage.
If I was Ducati staff, I'd be really happy right now because you're seeing weekend so he can finish the job.
His girlfriend, Dimitri, and his sister Crow, the neck pang. It's almost unbearable tension, isn't it, for Ducati and the Bagnaia connections. It's Ducati's first world champion in a decade and a half. This has been a supreme start, Simon. Yep. This is unbelievable.
Yep, and on all aspects of the circuit stands out to me. He's like looking fantastic.
Darren Binder's gone down into turn number the first time since Aragon 2018 in those damp conditions on slick tyres. 58.645. Marc Marquez peels back into pit lane. Shadow. Is he going to wait for this man then? Pecco Bagnaia was
it's right out of my mouth. Like Jack, 4/10, but back not looking comfy. You know, like he pointed out, he was worried coming here that yes, those weaknesses have jumped back out again. You know,
hey, he's having a little chat, isn't he, with Gigi Dall'Igna and then Remy Gardner. Remy Gardner was a faller in FP3 as well in Sepang, and this man, P1 in the World Championship, P1 in Castagnini.
Not as calm as Pecco looks. Pecco looks stressed for the two of them.
Pecco's better half. Talk about a walking bag of nerves. Anything.
Describe the turn, so because it's caught all the big boys out. Turn, brake kind of past it, let go the brake, and left. Even though he's like 4/10 out from everybody, there's no reason why. Like, for example, imagine two Ducatis leaping ahead of him. You know, right now, it's well possible.
But now it's all down to the man twisting the throttle on that factory Ducati. Gavarini, the crew chief, and Tardozzi in another big huddle.
Look, Mark is latching onto
the decoy here. Just Miller goes out, gets his hammer down. High pressure moments. Christian Gavarini, he knows what it takes. He was one of the most experienced crew chiefs on the MotoGP grid.
You know, if I was Ducati management, right, and let Pecco go out there and stomp on it.
Well, that might well be the case. Third place. Who's behind Miller then? It's the Marquez brothers. Pol Espargaro's there as well. Fabio Gashima, who's still in for the injured. Taka Nakagami also in that big group of riders. As is Magan touring mode, like almost as if he's protecting Bagnaia's 1:58.645 going.
If you know, everyone in red right now would want that. So let's see what does happen.
Kept Jack Miller as his teammate into 2023. Now then, what is going to happen and what is
pushing?
You can just tell from Delini's body language, a little rub of the goatee that signals that he's feeling the heat, he's feeling the pressure himself. Miller then now, hard on the brakes and co. Get on with it, guys.
There you go.
You find a 158.6, good luck for him going into Q2. And Miller, Bagnaia and Ducati know that these guys can't turn 8 again. Look at Marquez.
Mark's not going to stop.
No, he's not going to stop. A shake of the head from Marc Marquez are out. You find a 158.6, good luck for him going into Q2. And Miller, Bagnaia and Ducati know that these guys can't turn 8 again. Look at Marc Marquez are out. Marc Marquez will be starting the Malaysian Grand Prix. That's brought out the yellow flags as well, hasn't it? The Alex Marquez crash into turn number 8. We've seen, haven't we, that these guys, aside
Really fast, only 3/10 off. So can he go better on the second tyre?
the credit to him, but again he couldn't get within a quarter of a second of Jack Miller in second place. Ducati, Bagnaia going into... Oh, Miller's gone with a big high side. Big slap there in Phillip Island. I just wondered their side whether he's just let too much temperature drop out of the rear tyre.
Yeah. Closed door or closed throttle, did it come around? Wait. Yeah, closed throttle, high side, like got marked a couple of years ago, 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah, as soon as he flipped, the last thing that Jack Miller needed, because he's already nursing up a pretty badly damaged left.
Shows how easy it is to get caught by that temperature going out of the left side.
On Jack Miller, I don't think he will do. Brad Binder, though, may well be. Look at that on the factory KTM. Think for P3, it's going to be mighty close here in the final 22. Marquez, can he knock Miller out of that top two here late on? Over the line he comes. Brilliant.
Respect.
158.878, so there is more pain then coming the way. Well, that was the ride of an 8 times world champion, as we mentioned, a 158.87.
Right on the limit, pulled it off. Top job. Respect. I mean, I've got to listen.
Yeah, the Honda, the man on top of it, the man twisting the throttle. We were thinking that he might actually be not even qualifying inside the top 20. Yeah, here he is in Q2. He's all together for a session.
So
Alberto
ejected from the T-bone from Alex Marquez, and let's go completely. That's definitely cold tyre, as Matt predicted, and like it's got that corner. It's got a look.
Q2, no Johan Zarco in Q2. He had a really average session there. Johan Zarco in 8th place. Bagnaia a little bit more of an advantage, but it's Bagnaia and Marquez that do go when he needed it the most. Kept his cool. Pecco Bagnaia found that 158.6 in Q2 as well. Just missing out was Brad Binder. A painful ending to that session for Jack Miller. The big high side for him. Zarco, Miguel Oliveira. Paul from Zarco and Oliveira, you have to say. Gardner 10th, Alex Marquez. So Pecco Bagnaia then, his main goal in that Q1 session was to get himself into Q2. Do you want to know how hard Marc Marquez is pushing himself from that factory Honda? A bit of man, well, the man wringing everything out of himself and the machine.
Yeah, and pushing it too. And like I said, on a machine at the moment that I think has so many weak the Honda has, and he went 2/10 slower than this man who's on target to win 2. If he was, you know, Mark and Fabio on the Ducati, what they would do. You know, they're just
% in winter testing. He's going to be,
which they will.
Which they will. Yeah, they're not going to rest on their laurels. They're not going to, at the Petronas Grand Prix on Malaysia, the showdown for pole position ahead of left hand. He just gives it a little bit of a shake out as he leaves pit lane. He said yesterday, Hero 3 is Fabio Quartararo's all-time lap record in our lap of Fabio Quartararo, the penultimate pole of the season. Is it going Quartararo? And
speaking of men that ring everything out on a qualifying lap, like we just saw Mark, you can see him psyching himself up there, banging himself on the chest. We're about to see him throw.
We are starting this second session on a used soft rear tyre. You obviously on his soft rear tyre. Marquez already 3 laps done on his, so you got to feel something
that has already started to drop, get everything out of themselves, like basically.
Well, we're watching the superstars of MotoGP here in Malaysia, and we're thanking our lucky stars that it looks in a wet Q1 in particular but he was absolutely supreme to get himself. Espargaro have one mission in tomorrow's Malaysian Grand Prix, to beat Pecco Bagnaia and make sure that they...
Fantastic, same as he has all day today. Look, he looks so in control, looking wonderful. I would say the nicest to watch out there so far.
The split was that crash at the end of FP3 this morning. In his defence, he was chasing down and being absolutely sensational at the moment, seemingly bulletproof to any of the pressure that...
Has again impressed me. Backed into a corner with two falls. Like went really, really fast, chasing Jorge around, and then you've got all the title contenders that are going to, maybe Bastianini, that are going to do something special as well.
And obviously said Pecco Bagnaia needed a mid-158 to get through Q1. Well, at the moment, how close was that? Jorge Martin, though, smashes Fabio Quartararo. A 158.021. Martin over 6/10 clear.
Beat that. I think Jorge is the outright fastest.
Historic day here on what's been a remarkable, unpredictable MotoGP World Championship Camp 57. Sadly, Jack Miller not in this second session. He looked like he was on course, didn't he, when he was second? That lap, that is, though, by Jorge Martin. Nobody within half a second. Just doff your cap to that performance on his first flying lap there, Martin, with a 158.579, but still not within half a second of Martin.
Matt, and look at
the way of this man, Fabio Quartararo, at all. Overriding that Yamaha throughout pretty much this side. 5 Ducatis into our top 5. The Maverick Vinales has got himself in that top 5 there.
Morbidelli, because we don't often get to do that this year, he's looking really good as well.
He has a double long layer, and Marc Marquez in the early FP3. A very disgruntled Davide Tardozzi, we heard. This just won't cut it.
No, and the problem is with the inline machines that with number speed you need to do the lap time, and you get balked by the V4s, and so he needs to be right at the front of qualifying, right at the front of...
But he has not gone into a full time attack mode in this session, has he? That's about to get started now for Bagnaia. How much risk will he be willing to take to try and get on?
Scaraggi is back on his original bike, the dry setup one that he fell off.
The main grandstand, we can see into the Aprilia garage, we can see into the factory. Almost gone. Okay, yeah, pretty impressive that. Fair play to Jorge Martin. This is going to be a hugely important 5 minutes or so. Latch on to the back of this man, Pecco Bagnaia. I think he was, or certainly trying to latch on to the back of Racon. Off you come through.
Yeah, my bosses are going to be mad at me.
Yeah, apparently a hostile trick. There he is. I don't suppose Bagnaia is going to care the more bikes he can put.
And Mark pulled off a 58.8 all by himself. He'll be on the first 2 rows.
As this sits right now, then, it's Jorge Martin on course. It's 158.021. Gets him in control of this Q2 on an all Ducati front. Second Bagnaia on row 2, and this is arguably, you could say, the most important.
The massive pressure Fabio's under. He knows he has to put it right at the front.
On the grid, Fabio Quartararo would be for tomorrow's Malaysian Grand Prix.
He's there. What's going to happen here?
So Bagnaia will start. These two, of course, had great battles, didn't they, in Motul and Aragon last year.
I thought he might have pulled out of it, but he's not. Both of these guys hammered down.
Sean on his second soft tyre in this session. Can he find a... He's also bringing... Oh, no, he's gone down! Pecco Bagnaia has crashed! Pecco Bagnaia has on the floor. Turn 4. Oh, that went early, didn't it? That went very early, tipped it in. Down Bagnaia goes then. So
GP, these guys are forced to ride so on the edge that literally...
Bagnaia, he was up by a 10 3/4. That's how hard he was pushing. That they get withdrawn before he gets up to turn number 4.
Mark is on target for the first 2
boots into turn number 15. At the moment, he's down in 12th place. Much better cleared by Marquez. He's found a 158.454. So that has pushed Bagnaia. Pecco Bagnaia. Will it get better? It needs to do, because at the moment, big scare again on the front end for Fabio Quartararo. That was in turn 8 as well, wasn't it? Quartararo, he's got to get his head down. He was going to run out of time here to get one more lap in this session. Q2 session, 12th place for Fabio Quartararo. What a time. But Morbidelli here, if he can find the time we think he may well do in this long lap penalty to serve in tomorrow's Grand Prix. Quartararo is running out of time. He'll go late on. What an incredibly dramatic MotoGP crashed out of turn 4. Fabio Quartararo, when he was on course for a front row start, had the all said and done. We might get history. We might get another stunning record breaking on 157 of the Sepang International Circuit. One corner left then for being in Sepang. Is it going to be finished with an all-time lap record? It is. What a lap time by Hor. 7.90. Incredible. What a Eco Bagnaia, Aleix Espargaro, a near crash of Fabio Quartararo. Can you believe Aleix Espargaro 10th and Fabio Quartararo 12th?
Matt, I think all of the top guys who are under pressure championship-wise.
What a remarkable session that was. Pecco Bagnaia then will start. Bonuses, he's ahead of Aleix Espargaro and Fabio Quartararo.
Yes, that's all that matters.
Quartararo into turn number 8. We'll go down to Jack Appleyard very, very quickly. Turn number 8, another front-end span. The record-breaking sensation, Jorge Martin with a 157.790. Let's hear.
Like before, Jorge to qualifying is always good. 58.0, he made a small mistake in the last corner, but he improved a little bit more.
Amazing lap time, amazing rider, amazing drama in the MotoGP World Champ stage. He had Marc Marquez behind him, he crashes into turn 4 and that drops him.
Pace-wise, I think he looks so good, he can pull off the normal.
Onto the...
We were on the back, we were suffering a lot, even in FP4. But then QP1, QP2, for some reason, the speed arrived.
Really close, but the second position is really good. I hope to see the sun also tomorrow to do a great race.
Some points of the track, but anyway, happy, really happy. I feel like we have the pace for the win, so I am super happy about everything.
What a treat they had on our return. An all-time lap record, front row with an Airbus Giannini and Marc Marquez. Bezzecchi, Rins and Marini go from row 2. More championship here tomorrow in Malaysia, but his closest title rivals are Aleix Espargaro and Fabio of the season. Johann Zarco, always strong in time attack modes. He had a poor